Hi there. Welcome to Oakland Side 510. I am Tasneem Raja, editor-in-chief of the Oakland Side, Oakland's independent nonprofit newsroom. Our main story this week. What would it take to make Oakland a real filmmaking hub? Our arts reporter, Azucena Rasilla, is here to talk about a small but meaningful policy development that could be leading us in the right direction, and about some other cool things happening in the Oakland film world right now. Later in this episode, the first data from Oakland's speed camera finds. San Francisco police smashed down the door of Elaine Brown's West Oakland building. A deeply upsetting story about what happened to rescue dogs sent from Oakland to a shelter in Humboldt County. And Art Murmur turns 20 this weekend, and you are invited. But first, a word from a local company supporting this podcast. Looking for workspace in Oakland? Check out WeWork's two locations, 1111 Broadway in City Center, just steps away from BART, and 2201 Broadway, a beautifully designed Art Deco space just a few blocks away. Between the two, you will find flexible workspaces, meeting rooms, and a vibrant community with regular events and opportunities to connect, whether you're an individual or a growing team. Book a tour at WeWork.com. All right, let's get into our main story. Some truly great films were filmed in Oakland. Moneyball, the Brad Pitt film about the Oakland A's, partly shot at the Coliseum.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
Poetic Justice, John Singleton's 1993 film with Janet Jackson and Tupac, has several scenes in Oakland.
I'm going to Oaktown this weekend, man. You don't go?
Hell yeah, Oaktown. Gonna bring it again?
And more recently, you've got Blind Spotting, Sorry to Bother You, Freaky Tales, films by filmmakers with real connections to Oakland that capture real stories of our city and filmed on location. But here's the thing. Some of those same filmmakers say making films in Oakland is harder than it should be. Our city has never had the kind of financial incentives that draw productions to places like Atlanta, Albuquerque, or even San Francisco. Now, we're seeing some small but meaningful progress on that front. Today, I'm talking with our arts and community reporter, Azucena Rasilla, about what's been happening and also some other exciting things going on in Oakland's film world right now. Azucena, welcome.
Thank you, Tasneem.
Okay, let's start with some news out of Mayor Barbara Lee's proposed mid-cycle budget. What is the film angle here?
So, buried in what the mayor called a response to, quote, grave financial and operational challenges, there's one item she restored: a $250,000 film rebate program.
So you've been reporting on that program for a while. Remind us, just where did this come from?
Yeah, so that ordinance was co-sponsored by Councilmember Carol Fife, and it passed unanimously back in July of 2024. Mm-hmm. Originally, it was supposed to be funded to the tune of $500,000 with proceeds from the Coliseum sale. When that sale fell apart, the ordinance stayed on the books, but it never got funded.
Right.
So this budget would actually give it money for the first time.
Mm-hmm. And if it passes, how would it work?
So the city says that it would be managed by a film office within Oakland's Economic Workforce Development Department, and it would require hiring a staff person. The mayor's budget adds a special permit inspector for that specific purpose. Here's one example of ways filmmaking could get cheaper if this passes. The city would offer a rebate if the film crew includes people hired from Oakland zip codes with the highest levels of unemployment.
Okay, so $250,000 total across this whole program. Is that enough to actually move the needle?
Filmmakers are clear-eyed about it. Filmmaker Rafael Casal, who did Blind Spotting, told me it's, quote, symbolic at best, but he said it's a signal that Oakland is open to the conversation. At the same time, Casal pointed out that places like San Francisco offer up to $1 million per project and rebates, and Albuquerque, Tulsa, Oklahoma have built real film industries on the back of much larger incentive programs. He said that $250,000 is not the whole of what they need, quote, by any stretch.
Yeah, I mean, Rafael Casal would know. And he is actually filming somewhere else right now, right? Not in Oakland.
Correct. He's currently in Tulsa filming the second season of the FX show, The Lowdown. And he stars at the #1 Netflix show called The Boroughs, filmed in Albuquerque. Both cities build their film industries through incentives. He's seen firsthand how many locals benefit from a production being in town, all across different sectors.
Yeah. So right now, Oakland filmmakers keep having to go elsewhere.
It's been a pattern for a long time. Boots Riley shot his series I'm a Virgo in Atlanta. Casal and David Diggs shot their Blindspotting TV series in LA. Even Black Panther, which has its iconic scenes that appeared to be set in Oakland, was filmed in Atlanta as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so beyond the rebate, what are you hearing from, filmmakers who want to be filming in Oakland? What else do they need?
I talked to filmmakers with the East Bay Film Collective, which was a real force in getting the 2024 ordinance passed. Filmmakers like W. Kamau Bell, Rafael Casal, Boots Riley, and Cheryl Junior. They're hoping the rebate signals to private funders and foundations that the city is serious, so that money can be matched.
Okay. Now, the city council has until June 30th to amend and approve the mayor's budget. So this is still in flux. This is not set in stone.
It is. Nothing is locked in yet. And I should note, Casal told me that it took him 10 years to get the original Blindspotting film into production.
Wow.
So that kind of long runway means if Oakland wants more filmmaking here, the city would need to make long-term commitments, not one-shot gestures.
Okay. This has been super interesting. I want to zoom out because there's also been a lot of Oakland film energy lately beyond this policy conversation. Boots Riley just premiered I Love Boosters. You covered that.
Oh my God, yeah. It was such an incredible hometown premiere. The sold-out screening at the Grand Lake Theater at the end of April was part of the SF Film Festival. It was a festival centerpiece film. There were long lines wrapped around both sides of the theater. Riley was there, along with some of the cast members, including Lakeith Stanfield, Asa Gonzalez, and Poppy Liu.
Very cool. I am jealous that you were there. Okay, what is this film all about?
It follows a crew of shoplifters who take on a predatory fast fashion designer played by Demi Moore. It's a surrealist, anti-capitalist comedy, very Boots Riley, colorful with an incredible music score by Oakland duo Tune Yards. Riley wrote and directed the film.
Very cool.
It opened wide May 22nd, but Grand Lake had it a date early and has been getting a lot of buzz around town with a lot of sold-out screenings.
I was at the New Parkway the other night for a screening of Jurassic Park. Shout out to Real Votes for making that screening happen. And a screening of Boosters was happening at the Parkway right after that show. I have to tell you, there was a lot of excitement for that movie in the room. It was just a cool feeling. Like, it was palpable. You could feel it. Okay, moving on. You have also covered some big news for local artists in terms of the Rainin Arts Fellowship. Tell us about that.
Right. So each year, the Kenneth Rainin Foundation in Oakland gives a small group of Bay Area artists an unrestricted $100,000 grant to support their art.
Very cool.
It recently announced this year's fellows. 3 of the 4 are based in Oakland. Cheryl Junior, the filmmaker behind the cult classic 1996 film The Watermelon Woman, is this year's film fellow. She's a renowned Black queer filmmaker, widely credited as the first Black lesbian director of an American feature-length film. She lives in Jingletown. Her production company is called Jingletown Films. And more recently, she's been directing episodes of big shows like Bridgerton, Lovecraft Country, and more.
Dunier is an icon, and she lives right here in Oakland, as you said. She is also connected to the broader Oakland film community that we've been talking about.
Exactly. She's a co-founder of Cinemama, another filmmaker collective that Boots Riley started, along with George Rush, Laura Wagner, W. Kamau Bell, and others. And it is to foster the Bay Area's filmmaking community.
Very cool. Okay, before I let you go, Azucena, one more thing for film lovers this summer. Tell us what is happening at the Paramount Theater.
Oh, this one's great. And I know you were particularly very excited about it. So the Paramount Theater is relaunching its classic movie series. It has been on hiatus since 2018. They show films in 35 millimeters.
This is the good stuff, people.
That's right. So it kicks off on June 19th, Juneteenth, with Ryan Coogler's Fruitville Station. The screenings are going to happen every Friday through July 24. Tickets are only $10 and they're on sale now.
Yes, Fruitvale Station at the Paramount on Juneteenth. That feels very intentional.
Very. So the Paramount's general manager, Jason Blackwell, told me that all the films in the series are Bay Area themed in some way. The lineup includes Prince's Purple Rain. Some of his last concerts before his passing in 2016 were sold-out shows at the Paramount and the Oakland Arena, by the way. Other films in the series include The Maltese Falcon, Fantasia, and The Mark of Zorro, a classic silent film.
Yeah, that was a family favorite of mine growing up. Okay, Azucena, thank you so much for all of this. I really love your spotlight on Oakland film and filmmakers.
Thank you for having me, Tasneem.
Let's dig into some other recent reporting from our newsroom. There's more in the full stories, which we will link to in the show notes, and you can always find at oaklandside.org. Do sign up for the daily newsletter if you want to get our reporting in your email inbox. Starting out with big news on the Oakland Police Department this week. As you may know, OPD has been under the oversight of a federal court for over 20 years. That began in 2003, when Oakland agreed to place its police department under court supervision to settle allegations that a squad of West Oakland officers had planted drugs on suspects, beaten people, and committed other serious abuses. Now, for the first time, the federal monitor who has been watchdogging OPD says the department has performed all 51 of the reforms it had to take on to get out from under that federal oversight. Completing all 51 tasks is a milestone that has eluded 5 previous mayors and 8 police chiefs. This is not over yet. Civil rights attorneys John Burris and Jim Chanin, who have been involved in the reform program since the start, say they're happy with the progress but cautious. Burris told us there is still an unresolved issue around consistency of discipline, specifically whether OPD's disciplinary system treats officers of all races fairly. He says he won't ask the court to end federal oversight until that analysis is complete. You can follow Rosalind Romero and Darwin Bongram's reporting at Oaklandside for updates. Next story, Jose Formoso has the first hard data on fines from Oakland's new speed camera program. The cameras started issuing actual tickets on March 15th. In the first 40 days of enforcement, they have issued more than 82,000 citations, more than 2,000 a day. On a personal note, I am embarrassed to tell you that one of those was mailed to my house. It turns out I have a habit of speeding up Broadway after leaving the YMCA. But I am happy to tell you I have definitely changed my ways since that ticket showed up in the mail. Jose's story reveals that the busiest speed camera was on 73rd Avenue, which logged over 8,000 citations in that period, with an average ticketed speed of nearly 45 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone. That is not safe. The highest average speeds were on Hagenberger Road, where drivers were clocked at an average of more than 55 miles an hour in a 40-mile-an-hour zone. Now, the city has not released revenue figures yet. I know there's a lot of questions about how that piece of the puzzle is going to work. We're going to keep reporting on it, and a more comprehensive report with before and after speed data is expected this summer. Last week, more than 100 East Bay residents staged a die-in outside Oakland's Eastmont Town Center to protest federal health care cuts. Rosalind Romero reports that many of the demonstrators were hospital staff and recipients of Medicare or Medi-Cal who laid down in the parking lot, literally putting their bodies on the line. They were there to protest H.R. 1, the law that Trump signed last July that includes cuts to Medicaid totaling nearly $1 trillion over the next decade. The Congressional Budget Office estimates that in California, up to 2 million residents could lose Medi-Cal coverage. Now, here is a jarring public safety story from Natalie Ornstein. San Francisco police officers broke down the door of the Black Panther. That's an affordable housing building in West Oakland developed by former Black Panther Party chairwoman Elaine Brown. The officers were searching for an 18-year-old robbery suspect who doesn't live in the building but visits a resident there. According to Brown, her security staff asked to see the warrant before letting officers in, a policy that she has in place because of concerns about ICE. She said the officers told her they had a warrant but declined to show it and then smashed the glass door. Now, SFPD disputes Brown's account, saying an officer did present the warrant, but was obstructed by the building's staff. Brown plans to file a complaint against SFPD with the Oakland Police Department. Here's a deeply upsetting story from Eli Wolf. Oakland Animal Services has discovered that some of the dogs it transferred to a Humboldt County rescue organization were allegedly killed and dumped rather than adopted. Oakland sent over 200 dogs last year to Miranda's Rescue, a nonprofit in Fortuna that describes itself as a no-kill shelter. Now, Northern California law enforcement is investigating the organization's founder on allegations of felony animal abuse, fraud, and conspiracy. 8 dead dogs were recovered from the property. 1 dog from Oakland was found alive. The director of Oakland Animal Services told us he has a lot of regret that the agency did not discover this sooner and that it has now halted all transfers to Miranda's. The agency is also reviewing its transfer protocols. If you have any information about any Oakland animals sent to Miranda's Rescue, please contact our newsroom at editors@oaklandside.org. Some good news for local sports fans. The Athletic Club, the beloved uptown sports bar that closed in February, is coming back. 6 Oakland residents are reopening it as the Oakland Athletic Club. They are targeting a June 8th opening just in time for the World Cup, which starts June 11th. The new owners include Angela Tsai and Aaron Higgins of Oaklandish, restaurateur Chris Pastina, and bar operator Addie Taylor. They're keeping the sports bar energy, but adding a full food menu and a dedicated space for watching women's sports. The bar will also carry beer from Oakland Brewers' Original Pattern and Ghost Town. And finally, if you are free on Saturday, Art Murmur is celebrating its 20th anniversary this weekend. The party takes place on Saturday. It is free, and it includes live music, art making, food and drinks, and a community exhibit featuring the work of over 100 East Bay artists. The event also kicks off East Bay Open Studios 2026, one of my favorite events of the year. All right, that's it for headlines. We will link to all of this reporting in the show notes. That is this week's episode of Oaklandside 510. You can find all the stories we talked about and all of our other recent reporting at oaklandside.org. This episode was produced by Mark Nieto and hosted by me, Tasneem Raja. As always, on behalf of our entire newsroom, thank you for showing up for Oakland. We will see you next week.